Ladies and gentlemen, meet the Shelby GT500, the fastest Mustang ever built, and maybe even the fastest Ford ever built. We don't know yet. What we know right now is that under the hood is a 5.2 liter V8 that's supercharged that puts out over 700 horsepower. But I know a guy who knows a lot about this car. He's the chief engineer of this vehicle, and he's the head of Ford Performance. So let's have a chat with the guy responsible for this, and that is coming up right now on the Fast Lane Car. We're standing in front of what is, I think, the fastest Ford Mustang ever. It's not a race car.
Yes.
Right. So
most powerful street legal
Mustang ever.
Ford ever.
Ford ever. Dang. And you guys have said over 700 horsepower. Are you gonna give me the right number, or is that still embargoed?
That's still embargoed.
All right. But over 700.
Over 700. The reason is, right, so we launched this fall.
Yeah.
If I ever could tell the guys to stop, right?
Yeah.
They're always, relentlessly dedicated to crafting this extraordinary vehicle, which means every single piece of horsepower they get, right? I got another several months. So
you got a little bit more time to maybe get it up a few more points.
You got it.
All right, so 5.2 liter.
Yep.
Basically the same engine that's in the GT350.
Okay, so we started with a 5.2.
Yeah.
And then we just had to add cross drilling for cooling.
Yeah.
We had to add ribs
Yeah.
because the cylinder pressure went up so much. And then we had to actually longer head bolts, a totally new head gasket. Then we had to put new valve seats into the cylinder head because we were putting so much pressure in the valves. We needed new stems, seals, seats. Still CNC machine head, but all that kind of combines with a very different 5.2 liter displacement, different compression ratio, bigger, everything from the pins that go into the connecting rods are bigger. So the engine itself is pretty unique for the GT500. We put the Eaton supercharger. It's a 2.6 liter supercharger from Eaton, low, so it's extremely low into the valley.
Yeah.
And that gives us better CG, and then it gives us a very efficient way for ducting the air right into the cylinder heads. So that kind of combines into what is our 5.2 liter supercharged motor that is still hand built next to the 350 motors up in Romeo, still signed by the technicians who do it. But that's the big engine that we've got. And then behind it, we've got a totally new DCT transmission with our partner Tremec. So we knew from the GT experience, which is a DCT transaxle, that you get a lot of performance of taking a lot of torque and transferring it quickly on the track without having to, go through a shift that goes down for a clutch system and up again, or from a manual perspective, having the ability to press the clutch and shift. So we can do those shifts in less than 100 milliseconds.
So it's faster.
Way faster.
And I got confessed, I drove the old one, and that clutch was heavy, dude. It was heavy.
Because it had transferred a lot of torque.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was a heavy clutch. It was actually heavy enough that my foot was pretty sore at the end of it. So no more.
All right, none of that. And then you've got that great capability that with the over 700 horsepower in the DCT, you've got great straight line capability that you can go and do under 11 second quarter mile, right?
3.5-ish, 0.6.
Mid threes, yep.
Okay.
And so that advantage of an automatic of just being able to spool up, go, shift amazingly fast, and then give you that, knocking through the gears faster than you can do with a manual. And then the DCT gives you that greatness of a straight line automatic, but gives you that greatness of a quick torque transition that you get from a manual, not losing torque, but not having huge pedal efforts that would be required on something with this amount of power.
Now, oftentimes getting the horsepower is the easy part, but keeping the engine cool is the hard part. Right?
Absolutely.
So how'd you manage that?
Yeah, so if you look at it, we got twice the opening than a GT350.
Yeah.
And so with that, we've added an extra heat exchanger to basically be the supercharger heat exchanger. And then we got more airflow through the total system. About some speeds up to 50% more airflow through the cooling pack. And that gives us that capability to, as we're driving on the track, we don't have to worry about top water temperatures, transmission temperatures. The DCT requires less heat exchanger volume than if we did full automatic with a huge torque converter, right? And so that cooling system is really maximized. And then we offer the customer what is the largest hood vent we've had. And then depending on what they want to do on a track, and take it out, it's called a rain tray, and then basically it'll exhaust all that cooling lift out. So the customer can then tune that and combine with either the base wing or this wing on the back to either set up their setup that they like on their track.
Now you've got a lot of downforce on this vehicle. I can see it in the front, I can see it in the wing on the back. One of the more probably downforce vehicles that Ford has built, right? If that's
Absolutely.
The way of putting it,
yeah, absolutely. As far as any vehicle that would be street legal,
Yeah.
this has more downforce than anything, depending on how you set it up.
Can
Right?
you like drive it upside down through a tunnel? Can you do it where you fly in the tunnel and do the three? No? Yes?
I haven't tried that one.
Right.
I mean, so for a real fast track, right, it's got the ability, you can adjust it, you can put a lot of downforce on the rear to keep the power in the corners at high speeds, right? So depending on what track you run, which a lot of Mustang owners will do short tracks, some people will do Virginia International. So this is the kind of vehicle that you can set it up into a track that you would want to use it on.
How about brakes and tires? There's two different packages, right? There's like the racetrack package, which is this one.
Right, and so if you look at it, since we're going faster, we have to stop more.
Yeah.
Since we have to stop more, we got a 420 millimeter diameter front rotor, which they tell me is the biggest rotor of any coupe.
Like an extra large pizza.
It's crazy. It's still a two-piece,
Yeah.
6-piston fixed front calipers, and then we changed the front suspension geometry and the rear suspension to get a 20-inch wheel to fit.
Okay.
To go with the 20-inch wheel, we have the PS4S on the standard car, which is a great tire to give you both grip and streetability. And then when you get, what this package is the exposed carbon fiber.
Yep.
It's really matched around the Michelin Cup 2s, which are kind of like a semi-slick. And so with that, we provide the carbon fiber wheels, which are total 60 pounds less than the cast wheels. And then when it couples with a rear seat delete, Recaro seats, a carbon fiber accent on the IP, and then a carbon fiber wing.
Let's look at the Recaro. So those are obviously, you've got the snake, the Shelby snake in there, right?
Yep.
So what's it like on the inside? Well, it's pretty much like a regular Ford GT Mustang, except with one big difference, and that is the shift knob. And then you've got the little rotary shift knob. That's kind of
Yep, that comes new. This is the only Mustang that will have that. And so in the logic, what we set up with the DCT, it's all integrated. We've still got, we've gone with 12-inch cluster as standard, so it gives you that clean interaction with the car. And that is how you can select all the different drive modes that will set up, you know, if you're on a track, you want that.
Are they the same ones that you get in like a regular GT, or are there,
It's
like
all
a special race one?
Track is tuned differently for this.
Yep.
Every mode's tuned differently to work with the DCT,
Yep.
because it's tied into it, and the supercharger, of course. So we put magnesium paddles in.
Okay.
So if you're going to be on a track and you want to do the shifting instead of the transmission, you can do that. And so we've lengthened them out, and those are custom to this vehicle. So what we've done for the rotary is it's an interface that gets you into drive, gets you into reverse. It's just tried and true, right?
And these are Performance Blue, right? That's the Ford color?
Yep. So this is Ford Performance Blue.
Yep.
So we are launching that on the Shelbys in 19, so it picks us up in 20.
Well, let's talk about this big wing back here. These are that adjustable, so you can change them on a downforce.
Yep.
That is a big chunk of carbon fiber. And those exhaust, wow, 4 quads. Are those real quad, or are they kind of 2 and 2?
It's an active exhaust system, which
great.
is the same way we do it. So one's a straight pipe,
Yep.
and the other is a variable outlet. Both of them go. Yep.
A little butterfly valve.
Butterfly valve.
Yeah.
Same general architecture as what we do on the base Mustangs and the 350. Totally unique tune, totally unique valve to take the temperature setups.
Did you benchmark any cars? Did you go after like the Hellcat? Did you?
We really,
Camaro?
we're kind of fortunate to have at the top end the GT.
Yeah.
And then we've got the GT350R, which is a phenomenal handling vehicle. And so it's really a positioning strategy of this vehicle between the two of them.
And you said it'll be available in the fall?
Yep.
Okay, and pricing has not been announced?
Not announced either.
And if you care about fuel economy, you're probably buying the wrong car.
Fuel economy is not...
How about top speed? Have you done any top speed runs?
No, not yet.
Are we looking at 200 here? Is that a possibility? You know, I got to ask.
You got to ask. We haven't announced top speed, pricing, fuel economy, weight, aero downforce numbers.
And cost.
And cost.
Yeah. And horsepower.
And horsepower.
Yeah, so there's a lot that we still don't know.
And the fall is a long way off, man.
It's a long way off. But you've driven it, right?
Yes.
So what does it drive like? At least you can tell me that.
The first thing you come away with, it is super fast. It is the responsiveness
like one of those
it.
Where your face goes like
it is what is so different about all the Mustangs I drive. It's just, it's just the most powerful, and it comes across as soon as you get into it and you step into it. And that is, so from experiential, just driving around, it is, the DCT just brings the engine to life, and you are just over 100 before you know it.
So the kind where you put a lot of points on your driver's license really quick. And I always have to ask this one, the softball question, what's your favorite part of the new car?
I really think it's the powertrain. The transmission, the engine are just extraordinary, right? I mean, it is, to put those two together and create it, it is really puts it at the pinnacle of the Mustang lineup. It rightfully can be the most powerful Mustang we've ever put together.
So now you've got really four, right? You start with the base 2.3.
Yep.
Then the 6 is gone, then you go up to the GT, then you go up to the GT350. Now the big 5.2 supercharged, fire breathing.
All in.
What is your license? Well, is there anything I forgot to ask you that I should have?
No, I think there's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in all the details behind it. I'm just looking forward to taking you guys through that.
I can't wait.
There is a cutaway
over there,
over there and stuff. But yeah, I think it'd be a great event to get you guys out and drive it.
Well, thanks. I look forward to that in the fall.
Yep.
Thank you, Carl.
Thanks.
So there's a lot we still don't know about this car. For instance, how fast it is, the top speed, fuel economy, and of course how much it will cost. But we do know that this fall all those numbers will be out there, and I'm guessing that Ford will slowly release those numbers to keep interest high in this new Mustang. As always, this is Roman reporting for the Fast Lane Car. Check out tflcar.com for more news, views, and of course, real world from the auto show reviews. See you guys next time. Ciao.